gonna jump up to November, which the verse was Matthew 5:14-16, let your light shine. And the first part I have is actually breaking down the verse, the Matthew verse, because I thought it was just so powerful. And even though we had a verse for every month, this was like our main theme verse for the whole year. So, number one, God is the light of the world. The world's dark, and the only one who can bring light to it is God, because He Himself is the light. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. When God shines His light through, you can't deny it. In fact, you want to praise Him for being the light in your path. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. How can we let God shine His light through us if we keep His goodness hidden? We can't. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. When we allow God to use us to shine His light, everyone around us benefits, not just ourselves. In the same way, let your light shine before others. So in case it wasn't clear yet, He wants your light.
That's right.
He wants you to let your light shine. That way we may see your good deeds. He doesn't want you to just be influential in theory. He wants us to take action. And glorify your Father in heaven. And not any action, but He wants you to do good works that bless His kingdom, that glorify His name. So, when I went to this verse, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm screaming. When I went to this verse, I just thought it was so powerful. Like when you say just let your light shine, that's kind of like our tag phrase or whatever. But when you break it down little by little and you realize what that really means, He is the light. And He is in you if you let Him be in you. And you can shine His light if you spend time in His presence and allow Him to work through you. So, shining our light, what does that look like? So, we had a lot of different speakers for this, but I found for this time it would be better to kind of combine it, because overall it was working better that way. So shining our light, so I just want to say that because I want to say I got this from a lot of different people. Myself, but also a lot of people, I didn't just make it all up. So shining our light, our scope of influence reaches anyone we interact with, especially those close to us. There are two kinds of people we interact with. People who have constant or long-term relationships, and people that we only cross our path for a brief moment. So I thought that was important because sometimes we think that we only influence our kids or the people that we want to teach, but actually we influence anyone we talk to. So that person that you met once at a store, was your reaction negative? Or were you positive? You had a smile on your face? And one of the examples that the speaker for that time put was like, when you're talking to somebody, are you on your phone, not paying attention, not even acknowledging them? Or do you actually pause whatever you're doing and just spend the 2 minutes that you are doing whatever you're doing with them? So that brought perspective to me and encouraged me, so I hope it encouraged you, to just be aware that anybody you talk to all the time, you can make a positive impact on them if you're intentional about it. You can be a blessing to all by being positive, encouraging, and intentional, purposely seeking to bring life, speak truth, and shine your light. What may seem insignificant to us can in fact have a huge impact on others. So I thought it was interesting too. Body language, attitude, and words are not meaningless or effectless. We all have weaknesses and strengths. We all have different gifts that can bless. So something that little, to like looking at your phone that may seem it wouldn't make a difference, it actually could. Just as there are countless people we interact with, there are endless ways in which we can shine our light and make someone's day a little brighter. So I have a lot of different examples. So invite people to church, Bible study, love others like He loves you, be that need a little bit extra encouragement, be extra generous if you can. Put yourself on the shoes of others that have to work on Mother's Day, that have to do all the sacrifices that we take for granted sometimes. Bake some cookies or mow the lawn or shovel the snow for a neighbor, just to be nice, just to be kind. Not because you want anything in return, not because you want to look good, just because you want to show that love and appreciation for them. If you love babies or organizing, offer to babysit or help somebody get settled in their house. Reach out to those who are new to the base, don't have many friends, or their husbands are currently gone. A coffee, lunch, or a play date, we all know that can go a long way, especially when we're brand new to a place or we just lost friends that we know for a while and we're all by ourselves. Or we're used to doing everything with our husbands and then our husbands are gone. Many things. Confidently trust that God put us here, now, for a reason. We ought to be the light for others that need us. Now, so I want you to hear this. You are a mom because he wanted you to be a mom, or you're not a mom yet because it's not your time yet. You're in Alaska because he needs you to be here right now. I know that's not easy for everyone to embrace, but if you start trusting God with that, you can start embracing it. Like, there's so many things in my life that I can explain other than just God did it. I don't have an explanation. God did it. I did not want to come here. I was dreading it. I was confident that I was going to be depressed. So I sent out my girls for dance, for gymnastics, for everything I could. So I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to make sure they are not depressed because I don't want to bring them down with me. But that's all I thought about it. First week we were here, we were going to gymnastics and we were going to dance. And first week I was here, I started meeting friends. They started inviting me for coffee, for different things. A lot of those friends I don't have anymore. But they encouraged me. They brought me here. They brought me to different places. And that prevented me from being stuck. That prevented me from being depressed. A depression that I thought it was impossible to prevent. In everything you do, remember that a good heart behind it is what matters most. A good heart. So piggyback on the fact that you don't want to do things to impress others. You don't want to do things to even impress God. You want to do it because it is in your heart that you want to do a good thing. And he can see that. So if you're not there yet, as much as you want, just pray about it. Ask the Lord to give you that goodness, that feeling that you just want to do it just to be nice or good or whatever it is that you're struggling with. He will give you what you need. And sometimes we kind of want to do things that are not our calling. And that's why they don't kind of work out too well.
True.
So listen to him. As much as you want to do something, maybe this means not right now. It doesn't necessarily mean never. But listen to him. A little snippet of me. I got a job at a church the first summer I was here. And I was so excited. I was doing ministry and in my own way. I wasn't an administrative assistant. I wasn't preaching anything like that. But I was making this big change for God's kingdom. But that started causing a lot of problems in my home. I was never home. Most of the money went for childcare. My husband had to cook every day, and my girls missed me. And it started becoming a burden. And it was very, very hard to quit that job. Because I felt I am pleasing God. I'm going back to work. How can I just say no to this? And my boss would pick up on the struggle. And one day, he started to encourage me to go out the door. And that was so hard for me. Even though I was on fire, I felt as I was being pushed out. But he said this: anybody can do your job here, but nobody can replace you as being mom.
That's right.
And that's what, shook me off because we have interviewed 3 different babysitters. We have found the perfect one, and yet we found out the perfect one was mistreating my kids. So I had to stop going to work. It's like I can't go to work until I get a spot in CDC. I'm not going another babysitter. This is not. I trusted this person, this third person. But remember last week I mentioned the roadblocks. That was the roadblocks. 3 things happened, and that was the 3rd hit. We couldn't deny it, and it was no matter what, I can't go to work right now until I get a good spot in a good place. But even when I got a slave in the city. I still wasn't home. I still wasn't doing what God was calling me to do right now. So he being able, my boss being able to speak this truth to me, allowed me to know I'm going to continue to do ministry some way or another. But right now, my main ministry is my kids.
Family first.
And that, it took a lot for me to be at peace with that. So, I wasn't going to share that.